Greetings. So, I had gone to the No Kings event. I had a good experience, and then I was feeling good about that in Oakland, my community, and all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing, um, focusing on Donald Trump as if he really has that much power, focusing on Donald Trump as if he represents all that has happened and the creeping corporate fascism, focusing on Donald Trump and thinking that if all we have to do is just get rid of him, and once we get rid of him, everything's going to be awesome. The system before him was working great. There was no problem with any of the votes we had in 2000 or 2004 or with the WTO trying to take over the world through trade agreements. Or there's never none of that mattered. No problem. No creeping corporate fascism. No continuity of control. No Victoria Nuland, Anthony Blinken, those kinds of people that transcend political parties. A lot of times they're lifelong Democrats that flip to Republican to hang out with Cheney and Rumsfeld or whatever, Victoria Nuland. Um, and so we have to focus on the continuity of control, the things that are above Trump, the things that picked out, selected Trump as the controlled opposition. We need to start to see Trump as another billionaire player in this field of players, but also as a puppet and as controlled opposition. He's playing a role. He is not the role maker. He's playing a role. He's not the role maker. We have a big problem. We are in the midst of creeping corporate fascism, surveillance capitalism, expanding data centers, the desire of the people in control to dictate how energy gets used and what kind of food we eat, and who gets to drink good water and who drinks Coca-Cola and all that kind of. This is the kind of stuff that was already being decided, already happening, already in motion before the corporate Democrats, totally controlled by the CIA and powers that be, before they decided to block Bernie in the primary of 2016, okay? Even before they did that, this creeping corporate fascism was happening, which gets us to the place where we're at today. The regime change wars that were way before Trump, okay? Regime change was a thing, remember? Was already going on. The plan to maybe eventually be engaged in war with Russia, or to hold out the specter of war with Russia to control the workers better. Whatever the case is, that was already in motion way before Trump, okay? And then how about Trump as resistance to that? It's all the people that fell for Trump and believed that he was actually going to liberate us somehow, or going to fight back the globalists, that like people like Alex Jones, globalist demon pedophiles, right? So Trump was going to actually resist that. He's not part of that, or so we thought, right? So some people thought. I never thought that. So unfortunately, we're seeing that he's really not for free speech. He's not, if the censorship helps him, then okay, let's let it happen. Oh, do I have to really confront the powers that be? I mean, I'm maybe not going to, it's stop the regime change wars. He's a beautiful peace. He wanted to bring peace. He comes out, maybe legitimate effort to make peace. Says, "Oh, I'm going to bring. Oh, look, I stopped the war. I stopped ceasefire. I got a ceasefire in Ukraine. I got a ceasefire in Israel." Oh, what a joke! Those didn't last long at all. And the people that really want things to continue, namely the genocide and land grab in Palestine. They want that to continue. So it's continuing. It started before Trump. Doesn't have anything to do with Trump, really. Doesn't. And so that's why No Kings kind of ultimately still sucks, right? Even though I had a great day here, I think a lot of people had a fun time. But it's advertised as No Kings, as resistance to authoritarian power. But you can't advertise that you're going to resist authoritarian power and then just focus on one little puppet within that system. You never mentioned Raytheon or Pfizer, Moderna, West Exec. Anybody who actually really has power over the long run, right? Raytheon had people in Biden's cabinet. You didn't know, Lloyd Austin. Okay. West Exec was pretty much most of Biden's cabinet. Jen Psaki, Anthony Blinken, these John Brennan. These are investors in defense consulting. West Exec, and they transcend. They're so far above the mere current sitting president. And so the people that blocked Bernie in 2016, the people that blocked Bernie in 2020, they're still kind of in control of the media. They're still kind of in control of the narrative. They were a little freaked out by social media for a while because that's one thing they can't control. So how they control that is by calling everything misinformation. Oh, anybody could just go online and publish, doesn't get checked or verified like it did on the mainstream media, which after 1996, under President Clinton, was completely consolidated and monopolized and horrible, crappy, not verified by anything. Not fact checked, nothing. It's just crap. It's been crap for all this time. And actually better information by real journalists such as Matt Taibbi was actually available online. You could actually get that on the internet where all the scary misinformation is. And see, that's really what they wanted to censor you from seeing is real journalists like Matt Taibbi or Caitlin Johnstone or something like that. They're going to, Caitlin, she's not, Caitlin is awesome journalist, keeps at it. No matter if it's a Democrat in office, Republican, doesn't matter. She is not even in this country. She's kicking butt. And she's online. That's the kind of, when you hear people say, "Oh, Jeff, the misinformation online, we need to really control that. We need to clamp down on that. We don't want to have, people telling us that ivermectin is maybe effective or something. We can't really tolerate that online anymore. We just want to hand control completely over to the monopolist authoritarians that already ate CNN, right? They ate the 24-hour cable news cycle, turned it into utter crap. So you want more of that, right? You want to get rid of whatever was on the internet because you don't like it. It might create racism. Maybe it's creating racism, Jeff. I don't know. Racism is just creeping out there. If it's white supremacy, if it's something that the corporate Democrats don't like, it's white supremacist. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And so we need to get back to being able to discern, to being able to have our agenda. No Kings was, funded by Arabella Advisors, Tides Foundation, some other people affiliated with the CIA. People that hate Trump and just want war forever. They want the specter of war with China, with Russia, to be there forever. And they really hate Putin in a way, and they want to diminish his sphere of influence. And then to use him also as a big, scary specter to sell weapons So to keep the weapons defense contractors that have taken over everything here, keep them in power by having this eternal opposition to Russia, you know, and also just being belligerent all along Russia's borderlands, you know, countries that we formerly had said we would never try to bring them into NATO. Now, of course, we're bringing them into NATO, going against our word. And people here in the West don't seem to have any memory of that. They don't seem to have any critique of that or any memory of that. And so, anyways, in short, not too short, that's what's wrong with the No Kings thing. That's why it's so lame to let the CIA throw this faux resistance march. Because we actually need real resistance. We need people that can actually see what power is doing and not conflate everything that's happening that's bad with this one character named Trump. And then thinking that all we have to do is get rid of him. He's actually he's like a whitehead pimple. Okay, I've said it before. If a body is sick, if you have a friend who's sick and he's been sick for a while and he's got a cough and a limp and he's sick, and then suddenly he has a pimple, all you can see right now is that pimple, right? But there's another, and there's all these doctors around saying, yes, oh God, all we have to do, that whitehead, boy, that is ugly, right? All we have to do is pop that whitehead, and then our patient's going to be fine. The rest of the body politic is awesome. All we have to do is just kind of get rid of this one guy, Trump. And so every morning I get on KPFA, and Ian Masters comes on. Ian Masters. And he's just spouting these lies, just spouting these assumptions that we've now embraced. Trump, oh, he's so involved with Putin. Trump and Putin, and just, oh, Trump, controlled by Russia. And Trump did this, and racism, and Trump, and white supremacy, and Trump, and white supremacy, right? He's just totally part of the distracto mess that's not letting us confront real power. Right now, we are in a crisis. It's a competition of crisis. The elites would do this thing where they flood the zone. It's called flooding the zone, competition of crisis. You can no longer think. You can't even remember. Oh my God, Charlie Kirk got murdered. Oh no, transgender people are under attack. I don't know what's happening. War. Oh my God, it's just constant, just crisis after crisis, and situation after situation, and bad narrative after bad narrative, and so then your head's just spinning, and you never get back around going, gee, what did I started out, I wanted just a bike path to go to San Francisco. I thought that would have been really cool. We still don't have that bike path. Oh my God. So I wanted affordable housing. I wanted it so that if a person of color or trans youth, anybody who just got a job could get housing because they have a job, so they can secure a place to live. And we're not controlled by rental weenies, by real estate jerks. We don't allow them just to control everything. And we actually have a place where you can move in that's not a shelter system where you're going to be abused, or it's not some tiny house under a freeway where you can't bring your pets. It's none of that. It's actually housing you can just move into and be free. Any housing you move into and they're like, yeah, no, you can't come and go at night. That's Nazi crap. That's not housing. That's a control freak Nazi thing. Oh yeah, you can live here, but your son can't come. Oh yeah, you can live here, but you can't be with your partner. We're a Christian thing, and with the men are over here, the women are over here. So even though you're a couple, yeah, no, we're going to separate you for your housing. Any of that's all crap. That's all crap, okay? People taking money under HUD and just giving it to their developer friends, and then we don't get the housing, that's also crap. Okay, and also this idea that the reason housing is so expensive is because we don't have enough of it. We need more. It's like a supply and demand, Jeff. It's real simple. Well, there's plenty of supply out there. There's empty condos all around me right now. We can invade that building, take over that building, get people in there, and we're done. We did it. The real estate weenies and the developers did not get to suck the community dry for as much money as they wanted to. And the developer's already gone. He's already been paid. He's already sucked Oakland dry. We've already given him the money. He's gone. Now some HOA is in control over there. They're trying to just keep we're all co-investors here, and we're trying to keep our property, trying to manage our investment. A lot of them don't even live there. It's like a second house for them. Or it's like pied de terre in the city or something. And they want to rent it out when they get a high rate for it or whatever. They don't even care. They don't live there. They're not part of the community. So we build a community by getting people that live here, want to stay here, live here, and they want to live in affordable housing, and they want access to affordable health care that's not controlled by an HMO. Wall Street HMO healthcare can still be there in the freedom of our ultimate thing, but it can be exposed as the shitty, horrible deal that it is when we have actually really good healthcare. So one way to create good things, create good food, create good transportation systems, create good communities, create good things, and not go around focusing on something from the 1700s called no kings. Instead of going around saying no kings, which is impotent whining, create good things. So create good things, then get back to saying racism all the time, right? Before you go back to saying everybody's racist, maybe go ahead and create some good things. Because when you create the good things, it benefits everybody. And if there is racism out there, it goes down. Racism goes down when times are good. No one cares about transgenders when things are good and when they're not being foisted on us as some kind of weird distraction or weaponized in some way, right? We want ultimate freedom for everybody. If you're an adult and you want to choose to be whatever you are, more power to you, sisters and brothers. Whatever you are, wherever you are on that spectrum, that's awesome for you. That's great. That should not be an issue. What needs to be an issue is how we're funding the school. That's an issue that I need to be involved in. What you do with your body, I don't need to know about that, right? I don't need to care about that. I just need to care that you're free to do it and that you're not hassled and you're free and respected like everyone else. Equality, right? You have equal rights. That's where that discussion should go. So that's the thing, right? Liberty for individuals, building communities, creating resources, equality of opportunity, getting back to some of those liberal ideas from the late 60s, early 70s that were so powerful and uniting, and getting away from these ideas now that are so dividing. Equity, racism. We're going to go ahead and promote racism, Jeff. Yep, we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to go ahead and blame a child because of his white skin for what happened hundreds of years ago, right? We're going to go ahead and blame him for that. He's part of Jim Crow still, that child. Just starting out because of his white skin, because of his skin tone. He's already got privilege that he doesn't realize. So that's all a bunch of crap, and that's distracting from real power, real things, and we can get back to that maybe later. Once again, you can fine-tune, refine things, figure out who's getting what, more privilege and all that kind of stuff. But at first, we're just in a wholesale. It's like if you're on a sinking ship and you want to figure out where the better seats are on the ship. Oh, I think they're more privileged up there at the front. No, the whole ship is sinking. Get it? It's not the captain, he's up there. He's giving favor to those people. They're sitting in a better seat up there. You see what I mean? Oh, God, maybe the Greeks on the boat have taken over and they're prejudiced against the Italians. That's it. This is Greek-run boat and they hate the Italians, See, all that kind of thinking is just destructive and horrible. While the boat is sinking, let's save the boat first, and then we'll figure out if the Italians have as good a seat on the boat as the Greeks do, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So we're just out of our minds right now, and the No Kings thing is kind of evidence of that. What was all over my X feed today? Just old people doing these really coordinated dances, and this is what Trump doesn't want me to dance. My dance is so powerful. Here we are in Chicago. I'm obviously not paid. Boy, I hope nobody's paying you to do that bad dancing. But anyway, so there's all these people. Oh, we're joyful. Here's the numbers and all the cities. We're so high numbers, no kings, no kings, And what that is just, wow, all you people fell for impotent whining and don't have an agenda. That sucks. That's sad, really. So I had a great time here in Oakland. I still love that. I love the kids. I love the people that came out for it. You know, a lot of them were really nice. They have good intentions. Just imagine if they could have organized it themselves in a way that would make them feel really empowered the day after, right? So now October 18th is come and gone. And we have another date somewhere out there. We might have a No Kings, another No Kings, our big global No Kings, whatever. It's also impotent. And it's organized by people with more power than Trump. Actual, like, quote unquote kings, right? And oh my God, it's such a lame. It's like have us react to the power structure of the 300 years ago or something like that, right? Why not say no corporate overlords? Why not say no hedge fund globalist, or no defense contractor military, no Pfizer controlled medicine? There's so many things that are just none of those are good slogans. I'm tired. I'm not coming up with any good slogans right now, but I'm just saying there could have been something so much better than no kings. In a way, it's got disempowerment built into it. It's got lameness. It's already built in. It's built into the logo. It's built into the slogan. It's built into the whole thing. And yet it co-opted, it gathered a lot of good energy and got it all over there on the Snow Kings thing. And so none of that energy that those youth were spending, or Barbara Lee, or anything, none of that was used to create affordable housing. None of it was used to oppose creeping corporate fascism. In fact, it supports it. It's part of it, in a way. It's part of the creeping corporate fascism because it's distracting and eating and co-opting resistance. We need real resistance, not faux resistance. That we can go on, let's decide how joyful we're going to be. Let's decide how much we're going to say racism. Okay, let's decide. No, that's not real resistance. It's faux resistance, and it's disempowering.